A big welcome to Rokan Sports, where you guys we are watching it from. This is Rokani in here on Rokani Sports, bringing you stories, news related today. And guys, it's beginning tomorrow. That's what I can tell you, that today we are really getting back to where we are supposed to be, and that is none other than Rokan Sports. Thank you guys for watching it. Smash a like on the video, comment and share. And as you know, today here on Rokan Sports, there is a story that I really want to bring to you in here. Yesterday, I did do a match reaction of Manchester United versus Chelsea. You can as well remember very well. But today, I've really come up with a story that is attached to that game, and that is none other than Manchester United versus the side which goes by the names of Chelsea. And it has really come out with a lot of news in there. And the first story is all about FA Cup, the FA really looking or shunning a punishment of Luke Shaw and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Remember, United yesterday played Chelsea, and then after playing Chelsea, really there was... All right, Adam Talk Sports, your question has been read very well, and I think I'm really going to give you the best reply to that answer. Now, we all know that yesterday United was playing a team which goes by the names of Chelsea, and the game ended in a draw that was 0-0. And you'll remember there was an incident of a penalty, and it's really raised dust in the entire football fraternity of Manchester United, and a side which goes by the names of Manchester United and Chelsea. And very many people, the referees, those of the Premier League and those outside the Premier League and the football legends all over, came out and said that something should have been rewarded. Others were saying it was a penalty. Others are saying it wasn't a penalty. And there is a series of Manchester United versus Chelsea. People have started really bringing things back, saying that was a debt paid very well, because United or Chelsea was supposed to be given Manchester United was supposed to be given a red card in the game where United won 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. You remember that's where it took place, and people were saying United's captain Harry Maguire. Remember when he stepped into the private parts of Batshuayi, the striker of Chelsea, and in the game that ended 0-0 at Old Trafford this season, they say Harry Maguire was supposed to be given a red card or a penalty. Chelsea was supposed to be given a red card. Now, allow me first show you these scenarios that people are talking about, and I reflect them to this scenario of Hudson-Odoi, the right fullback of Chelsea, who played there in that position there. And we really go to the main reason as to why I've done this video of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the player who goes by the names of Luke Shaw really not being suspended by the FA. Now, when you look at that, remember that it was at Stamford Bridge. Remember that game United won it 2-0, and it was Harry Maguire who scored the second goal, although United had got its first goal through Andon Martial. That is a player who goes by the names of Harry Maguire stepping into the genitals of Muthushi Batshuayi. Now, Chelsea have really brought it up and said, yes, that was supposed to be a penalty for us also, and it was not rewarded. There is another scenario of Harry Maguire again. It's all retorting at Harry Maguire. I think you all remember this. I'm going to show it to you. In that game at Old Trafford that ended 0-0, the way Harry Maguire really got hold of Azpilicueta as he was trying to hit that ball into the back of the net, and he was really put out in there. That is Harry Maguire in there for you. Now I'm looking for that photo that really caused for that scenario that really caused a lot of havoc into the football fraternity yesterday. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming out and saying it was supposed to be a penalty, and other people saying it was not supposed to be a penalty. That is Hudson-Odoi, the right fullback of Chelsea yesterday. This has raised dust, and it would have caused a suspension to the manager of Manchester United, that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in there. Now, this is the scenario that really brought all this to happening into the football fraternity. It caused a lot of alarming. It caused a lot of alarming into the football fraternity yesterday. Now, that is the scenario where Greenwood was with the ball and Carlson Odoi clearly got hold of the ball with his hand, and people really raised their suggestions. In here now, when we go to what brought to Solskjaer and Solskjaer escaping FA punishment over referee comments. Remember, these two players, the player known as Solskjaer really came out and said that if it's not going to be a penalty, I don't think they needed to stop the game, he said to Sky Sports. That's what Shaw said. And he said, the referee even said to Harry Maguire, the captain, that if I say it is a penalty, then it's going to cause a lot of talks afterwards. He told it was a penalty. I don't understand why the game stopped. It's confusing with VAR. I'm not going to mourn about it because I don't think either team did enough to win. That's what Luke Shaw said. That the referee said to Harry Maguire that if he gives that penalty, it's really going to cause a stir into the league and very many other people outside those that are watching. So that's what Luke Shaw said. Now, after Luke Shaw saying that, that was a post-match interview to Sky Sports. Then, what did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer say? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said they probably thought this was in a very natural position when he flicked the ball. It's gone now. We should have had a penalty, and that's clear. But I'm a bit concerned we don't get them penalties after the noises that were made a couple of months ago about us getting penalties. Clearly, there is a point of managers' influencing the referees. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, and those sayings really got to the nerves of the FA. And what did the FA say? The FA came out and said the following. Allow me to read this. They came out and said, what have the FA said? After reviewing all the information that they had available to them, to the football governing body decided that neither Luke Shaw or Solskjaer had breached the rules and would not face any further action. That's what they say. So that's why they escaped the punishment. So Adam Talk Sports, you are the one asking me, why am I saying they escaped the punishment? They escaped the punishment because the comments that they really said were looked at as comments that we are really going to put them into total trouble in there, as they really came out and commented about the penalty that was not awarded at matches or to Manchester United yesterday, as United played a team which was well known Chelsea. The game ended draw, or in draw. You'll remember that it ended in a draw. So after all that, the FA continued and said, why wasn't the penalty given? This is what the FA said. It is understood the penalty was not awarded because the VAR asked Atwell to look at the incident again on the pitch side monitor. But after looking at the footage, he decided to stick with his own field decision, as he felt Hudson Odoi did not move his hand towards the ball. That's what it said. So that's what the FA said, and it's really up there confusing. But to me, I really think a team like Manchester United shouldn't come out and really complain about a penalty. Though it really looked like a penalty, it was supposed to be given, but it was not given. But I think at a level, when you look at the games that United has played against the big 5 or 6, especially the top 4, when you look, we've lost to Tottenham 6-1, drawn against Arsenal, lost against Arsenal. We've only scored 1 goal in all those 6 games that United has played. We've played 2 against Arsenal. We've played 2 against Chelsea, both goalless draws. Arsenal, we didn't score. Arsenal scored 1. Man City, it was goalless. Tottenham Hotspur, it was 6-1. We only scored 1. So it shows you that in all the 6 games that we played against the top 5 or 6, we've only scored 1 goal. What does that show? It shows that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is playing against big teams. There is certain steps that he's missing out. Maybe he doesn't really want to lose. But to me, I really came out and thought today, did my mathematics and calculated and asked if at all United went ahead and won 3 out of those 6 games and lost 3, United would have been having 9 points and it would have lost 9. But in the 6 games, We've lost 2 and drawn 4. We've only collected 4 points. So I think it's way much better to lose 3 games and win 3, such that you cover up to 5 points. Because now we have 5, we have 4. That means if at all we had lost 3 and won 3, we would have been behind Man City with only 7 points. Yes, 7 points. So it really shows you that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has certain things he really has to do, some revision for him. I know he is still learning on the job, but there are certain things you really learn, that when we are playing big teams, it's not all about us not losing. It's a calculation of us. Let's open up ourselves. Like in the game of Manchester United against Chelsea, I ask myself why. Why doesn't Eric Bailly really come out to play against such teams? Because each and every time Eric Bailly plays, United can play a high line. You get? And us not playing a high line costs United a lot, because we are far away from the goal of the opponent. But playing Eric Bailly enables Manchester United really to play more yards nearing the goal of the opponent. Now you saw the pressing game that we played yesterday, because almost United won all of the 50-50 balls into the midfield, you remember? So one thing that failed us really to go ahead and win this game, I can tell you this: if yesterday Eric Bailly was playing into that central defense with either Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof, it was going to be a win for Manchester United. Reason 1, Manchester United had really a high pressing power, and what really delayed us from reaching the 18 yards area or breaking down easily the opponent, or the back 4 or back 5 of Chelsea that was played yesterday, was the reason that we were playing far away from the opponent, because Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof are slow, and with the likes of the Chelsea players who are fast in there, it was really hard for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to allow them to enjoy their game or play on the center line. That's what they call the high line in modern football. But if at all the high line was played yesterday, you would have seen very many things happening for Manchester United, and that game would have been won. And I'm asking myself, why isn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusting Eric Bailly into his central defense? Because almost all of the games that we've really winning, we have been having a man who goes by the names of Eric Bailly. Now, when you look, all the games that Eric Bailly has been out, one of Sheffield that we lost, you get, it was 2-1 defensive errors. That's why we lost. We went ahead to draw against Arsenal. Eric Bailly didn't play. We went ahead to draw against Everton. Eric Bailly didn't play. Those 3 games really turned around our season, because when we were playing all those games, remember, Manchester United was ahead. We went into the Sheffield game when United was ahead of Man City by a point. Yes, 1 or 2 points. And if at all we won that game, we would have seen ourselves onto the table. All Man City would have been ahead of us by just a single point. Now, Man City wins, and it extends its points, or the leading points, the points, to 4 ahead of Manchester United. United goes ahead to draw against a side which goes by the names of Arsenal, and Man City wins. They extended to 6 points, I think that to 7 points. After extending to 7 points, United draws against Everton 3-3 in that game where United had led the game, and Everton came out and really scored. You get? So it shows you how ramshackle United is, and how we have been treated by the selection of the manager, not trusting a man who goes by the names of Eric Bailly, whom I think is really a very good defender. And if at all he really comes up and lives up to the occasion into that defense, I think United would have been still tie to tie with Man City. And this, by the way, gives me a worry. I worry a lot about this. Why do I worry? One of the reasons as to why I worry, Manchester United looks like they will never, even if it looks like, although we say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a centre-back, but if at all he needed a centre-back, that type of centre-back he needs is in a player who goes by Eric Bailly. All right, he's injury-prone, Play him regularly. When he really gets injured, now we know that we are going to tussle it out with either Bay, Harry Maguire, and Victor Lindelof. But even if he's 100% fit, he's not given a chance to play. That's really something that really bothers me. And why should we really keep on saying that United needs a central defender? Yet the type of central defender that we need is on our bench and having the characters of the signing that we are crying for. Now, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really in need of a central defender? That's really something that I leave on to you, the viewers of Rokan Sports in here, as lots of things unfold in here on Rokan Sports. Now, that takes me to another topic that I was talking about, that United makes. It's all about Manchester United gifts title to rivals. Yes, that's what I really want to talk about today, that Manchester United has finally given the title to Man City. Why have I really came out and said this? Very many people said this like a week or 2 weeks ago, but to me, I was saying no, because of these games that United had. If I told United had won against Chelsea, it wouldn't have been over. But because United drew against Chelsea and thrown 2 points, and now Man City has extended its lead to 12 points. Those are 4 games. Do you think Man City is going to lose 4 games in the remaining 12? They just need to win 8 games to win the Premier League trophy. So to me, I really think if I told United won against Chelsea and won against Crystal Palace and they won against Man City, it would have reduced that gap to 7 points. And 7 points is not far away, because Man City just makes a draw or a mistake to make a draw and the gap reduces to 5. If I told United really keeps the consistency in there. But I came out and said, after the Man City game, if United doesn't win, and it didn't, it only managed to get a draw, the title hopes are over and they're close. Unless a miracle happens, as you know what God does. But right now, I don't really think United is into the title race anymore, because Man City is on a very good run in all competitions. Man City has played 20 games and they've won all of those games. No draws, they've kept very many clean sheets. And trust me, the game against West Ham, they really showed us what Manchester United is missing from the defenders. We need people who can really score in goals, especially. I'm having Hitman says, I think Man United will do good. All right. By the way, according to how United has done this season, I think United has done great. Apart from one thing that has really thrown Manchester United away, it's none other than the defense. Because when you look, United, the goals it has conceded this season, United has conceded 32 goals. Can you imagine? United has scored 53 goals and has conceded 32 goals. When you look, United, no team has scored more goals than Manchester United into the Premier League. So it shows you that United are doing great. And Mr. Hitman, I think United are really doing good. They are good, but the problem has come in from the central defense partnership. Harry Maguire and Lindelof have let in a lot of goals, and that's why you see United in here. Now you see Man City has scored 52 goals, and they've conceded only 16. Can you imagine? When did you ever think of it that a time would reach when we are talking about Man City having a better central defense than that of Manchester United? This has never been heard of in the football world, guys. I think you can also agree with me that this has never been heard of in the football world. Man City having a defense that is better than that of Manchester United, that's something that is weird and awkward. When you look, let me see which other team has conceded very many goals. Because United has conceded 32, Leicester City has conceded 30, West Ham has conceded 31, Liverpool has conceded 34. Yes, Liverpool is better. Liverpool and Everton have conceded more goals than Manchester United. But look how many points has United lost because of conceding such goals. Now, let me count for you. 1. Hitman says, Harry, don't work well with Lindelof. Yes, they don't work well with Lindelof. Now, Hitman is giving me a hint on what I was talking about. The games that United have lost because of these goals that we've conceded. 1, the game against Sheffield, it ended 2-1. United lost 3 points. I'm now adding them. Those are 3 points we lost. We lost a game we drew against Everton, 3-3. First half, the game ended 2-0. Everton came in and equalized, and United got the third one, and Calvert-Lewin leveled into the dying minutes, and that means it was Harry Maguire. We lost 2 points. Those are 5. Now, the other game that we've lost, there are very many games that we've seen ourselves losing, by the way, from winning positions. Very many games that United are close to. We've lost close to 10 points because, yes, the game of Leicester City that ended 2-2, it was poor and rubbish defending in there. That's why United really lost those 3 points. So that means there is no way Man City would have been ahead of us if at all really had a very nice defense. And 876 Hitman is here to give me a hint. He works better with Eric. Yes, all those games. Remember the game against Aston Villa. All those games that Eric Bay really came in and played. United really looked well and good. And I think even in the Champions League, we were knocked out because of our poor defensive partnership. Especially Twanzebe played alongside Harry Maguire in Turkey when we were playing Istanbul Başakşehir. And you know what happened? We lost that game to that team. And that was the only point that United, those were the sure points that we are supposed to get from Turkey to see to it that we only had to come back at Manchester United and win against them, get 6 points from them, then we win. And guess what happened? We lose in Istanbul. We came at Old Trafford, hit them close to 4 or 5 goals into that encounter. And guess what? Oh my God, things really never really leveled to the level, and we were knocked out to go into the Europa League. And the game of RB Leipzig. You remember when we were playing away in Germany, you saw what happened. We conceded 2 goals that were really too poor, that were really caused by the poor defensive partnership of Harry Maguire and Twanzebe. And people were crying for Eric Bay to come in because that was a game that Eric Bay needed to play, because you saw all those 2 goals. Angelino, the first one, and the cross that came in, and Luke Shaw or Alex Telles just looked on. So that's what really had a lot of things really at Manchester United. I'm having 876. Thank you. Smash a like on the video, comment and share, and subscribe to this channel if I told you already subscribe. Thank you, Hitman saying, and something is wrong with Anton Martial. Yes, I think there is something wrong with Anton Martial, and I think it's all about the way the fans are attacking him. Because one thing you have to know is that the English media really protects its players a lot. Now, I want to give you a hint. The English media knows that Anton Martial, potential-wise and football-wise or talent-wise, is better than Marcus Rashford. Anyone can agree that. It can be seen now because of his season, how he performed last season and was named by the players of Manchester United as the player of the season, and Marcus Rashford was really left out. The English media have embarked on a mission to really frustrate the Frenchman. What have they done? Each and every time he doesn't score that this season, because there's been poor, they've always attacked him. You get? Do you remember the game of Arsenal and Manchester United where Marcus Rashford really remained with the goalkeeper and he failed to score that goal? How many goals has Marcus Rashford failed to score this season? Ask yourself, how many scoring opportunities has Anton Martial gotten this season? Very few, but Marcus Rashford has gotten many, and he has really cost Manchester United wins because of him being selfish and Mason Greenwood, but because they are really English players and no one talks about them. And Anton Martial is being frustrated by the English media, and that was followed by the racist attacks on social media, where they really came out and abused him of being black or black. So that's really something that we should talk about, Anton Martial. But I think he should really get a good psychology teacher, and he really improves on his psychology, because we are still left with 12 games in the Premier League. I think in the Europa League we'll play some more 6, because I know United is going to play the final. Who else? FA Cup. We are remaining like 20 games this season to go, and I think Anton Martial really has a chance really to come out and really show what he has. Marcus is a very skilled young man. Yes, Marcus is a very good and talented young man, but when you look at how wasteful he is on the pitch, it's not how Anton Martial is. Yes, he's talented. I agree with you, Mr. Hitman 876, that Marcus Rashford is a skilled player. He is, and I agree with you 100%. But he is wasteful, and I think a lot of things really should have come up. They should come and criticize him. Criticizing Anton Martial, positive criticism is welcome. Marcus Rashford being selfish, each and every time United needs him to rise up and he doesn't, he should be criticized for that. So that's what something I really want Hitman to talk about with you. Now you say, and we need to give Danny Van Beek more time to prove himself. Yes, I was surprised against Chelsea when Scott McTominay, who only trained one day, was brought onto the pitch and he played 90 minutes. And the player who was Danny Van Beek was not even given time. That's why I really ask myself, why was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the beginning of the season saying, why did they reduce the substitutions to 3 apart from 5? We would have been having 5 substitutions as it was after the resuming of the Premier League last season, after the pandemic in June. So I was asking myself, why does the manager who goes by the name of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really come out and say that they should give United more substitutions into the Premier League? Yet in the game against Chelsea, you only did 1 substitution. Can you imagine? You have Danny Van Beek, and Danny Van Beek would have had a very big impact onto that game. But because our manager really thinks that the draw is better for us, because he really wants to be into the top 4, because he knows his job is safe, and that's how Ed Woodward is really going to award him a contract. But let me tell you guys, a good manager is a risk taker. Just imagine yourself, if at all Sir Alex Ferguson was the man managing Manchester United yesterday as we played Chelsea, do you know what he would have done when the game was 0-0? Trust me, the following changes would have been made. Danny Van Beek would have been on the pitch, and another attack-minded player would have been brought onto the pitch, because Sir Alex Ferguson knows winning that game would have seen United have all be at 10 points again. And because he knows that when he wins against Man City, he will really see himself 7 points behind Man City. So he would have started his calculation in the game of Chelsea. So he is really not a player or a manager who does risks, especially when you're playing big teams. So, Mr. Hitman, I think Danny Van Beek needs more game time. Yes, I know he needs, and we've been urging for this, but the manager doesn't really bring it up. And Freddie is getting very good. Yes, by the Freddie was good, but the only problem with him was his final ball. But yesterday I saw him really shooting, and his ball is close. And there is, remember that color that he really did with his weaker foot, that is the right foot, into the second half, close to the 76th minute of the game. And you saw Freddie looked at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they really laughed at one another, and Ole clapped for him, because there was a very big improvement, because Freddie, by the way, gets well into those shooting positions, but because his shooting is not yet up to the point that we expect him to be, that's why he's not yet at the level that he's supposed to be. So I think the rest is okay, but his final ball yesterday was good, by the way. The way he really gains momentum, his intensity is good, but the final ball was the problem. And yesterday he really showed to us that he's trying to work on his final ball, and it's something good. Now, Hitman says Bruno needs some rest. Yes, but to me, I think he's still young, because if at all you see a player like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, Ronaldo is 37 years, but he plays game in, game out, and is not rested. So I think Bruno is a player who gives himself enough rest when he's home, and I think his fitness levels are up to that level of him playing each and every game. Remember, when he was in Sporting Lisbon as a captain, he used to play close to 30 games plus a season. So this season, he has known, because they've played, how many have they played in the Premier League? Premier League, 26 games. Champions League, he played 6. Those are 32. Europa League has played 2. Those are 34. FA Cup, 34. Yes, I think he can play 40 games a season, and I think he's really going to come out and do them. So I think Bruno doesn't need the rest, because he's fit enough really to come in and play. So I don't think he needs the rest. He doesn't, because he's not an injury-prone player. Because if at all he was like an Eric Bay, I would have said that some games he needed the rest, but he doesn't need the rest, because the kind of player I know of Bruno Fernandes, he's not an injury-prone player, and he really doesn't want to be taken off the pitch, and he told his manager that, please don't dare take me off the pitch because I really want to play minutes. Remember last year, he was among the top 5 players who played a lot of minutes in the year of 2020, and Harry Maguire was the player who played the most number of minutes into the entire Europe. And remember, he never missed out on any of the Premier League, on any of the games of Manchester United last season. Now, you're talking of Bruno Fernandes having 50 goals. Yes, and this season alone, I'm talking of 2020-21, Bruno has scored 15 goals in the Premier League, 2 in the Europa League, 4 in the Champions League, and there is 1 he scored in the FA. Those are 22 goals. And I predict that Bruno Fernandes, I predicted by one of my videos that I did some days back, that Bruno Fernandes is going to hit 30 goals. And when did we last have a Manchester United player who scored 30 goals a season? You get? So I think Bruno is a very good addition to Manchester United. And you say Edson Cavani. Edson Cavani is injured, and I think he is going to come back on training soon. And I think in the next games you're going to have him. And by the way, that's what I used to tell people, that there are certain games that Edson Cavani doesn't need to play for Manchester United. I think Edson Cavani is the player, like in the game of Chelsea, that we missed a player like him. Yes? We missed a player like Edson Cavani in the game of Chelsea. Why? Because when you look at his football intelligence and his experience, he can turn around things in any second or minute. So to me, I think Edson Cavani, he's a player that would have helped us a lot into those big games, like the game against Chelsea yesterday, the one we are going to play against Man City on the weekend. So those are games that we need Edson Cavani in, because he's crucial. He's crucial because the way his experience, he doesn't need very many chances to score goals, and he's clinical. That's what really is at Edson Cavani. Yes, he has a lot of injury. Yes, he's injured, and we don't know whether he's really going to be up there. But he's swift. He's very swift. Yes, as Hitman says, I really love him a lot, and I like what he does for Manchester United. So, guys, Mr. Hitman, thank you for watching in. I think it has been really a great show having on to you, and very many other Talk Sports. Thank you for watching in. Smash a like on the video, comment, like, and share. This is Rokani Sports. If at all it's your very first time to watching, smash a like on the video, click the subscribe button, and after clicking it, go to the notification bell. That will enable you get notifications each and every time we come into with a new story in here or upload. Thank you for watching in. I'm signing out. See you later. And before I sign out, and Daniel James is good. Yes, I think Daniel James has really picked up, and I like the way he does. But his problem too is the final ball. That's the problem. His final ball and the way he makes his decisions. Sometimes he really shoots when he's supposed to really come out and pass on that ball into the 6 yards area and square it in to see to it that it meets either Anton Martial, Marcus Rashford, Edson Cavani, or any other player into that box. Then he shoots. You get? Sometimes when he's supposed to shoot, and then he finds himself passing that ball to a Manchester United player. So I think his decision making is really lacking, and that's something he should work about. And if at all he works about it, he's really going to be one of the best players we've ever seen at Manchester United, because his pace, I like the way he breaks. He breaks through the defense. He can run. He's fast, and I like that about him. But his final ball is really a problem, and his decision making whenever he reaches that 18 yards box area of the opponent, deciding either to shoot or to go on and make an assist for a teammate. That's what he should really work upon. You say he's too fast to get it down. Yes, but the likes of Mbappe are also fast, but there is the way they really come out and put it down to a level that is really world class, and they really put up assists and they really score in goal. So that's something that you should work about. So Mr. Hitman, thank you for watching in, and it's nice having you in here. It's my very first time, by the way, to see you comment into the live section of our channel, that is Rokani Sports, and you say I subscribe. Okay, you subscribe, thank you. And tomorrow we are really coming up with very many news in here. De Gea is the man of the match for me. Yes, he did 2 assists yesterday in the match of Chelsea that really saw us, really gave us better and better. James is faster than Mbappe. Yes, you're right. He's right now the fastest player, by the way, I think, in modern football right now. He's faster than Mbappe. But even if you are fast, that does not stop you from really knowing what you should do with the final ball, because your pace should help you beat down the defenders, and after beating them down, then your final ball is really something great. Because in football, what matters is the final ball. Even if you run, even if you take off the entire team, all 11 players of the team that United is facing, and you don't really come up with something final, you won't really matter. You get? There are very many players that we've seen who are like Daniel James, very fast, skillful, and aggressive. But if at all your final ball doesn't really put you up to a level that is going to be discussed about of what you do after doing all the runs, then that is something we shouldn't even discuss about. The final ball is really something great for him, because football is a game of statistics, and positive statistics, not negative statistics. Statistics that see your team like Manchester United thrive to the next level. Each and every time he makes a run, we should see results from him. So that is my take on Daniel James. Thank you, Hitman, for watching in, and Adam Talk Sports, and all of those that are going to watch this video afterwards. Thank you. I'm Rokani. See you tomorrow. I think towards midday, I'll be live. I'll share the video. I'll come in and we'll do the needful in here to talk more about Crystal Palace versus Manchester United, a game that is happening on Wednesday, 23 hours. That's when it's happening. We are going to come up with a predicted lineup, the manager's press conference and reaction, and very many other things, because we really want to see ourselves really getting back later. Thank you. We are left with only 560 subscribers to hit 2,000 subscribers onto this channel. So subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. I would love to see to it that we hit that mark before March comes to an end. Thank you. I'm out. Hitman, thank you for watching in. Adam Talk Sports, a 5-finger salute to Adam Talk Sports and Hitman. See you later tomorrow onto this channel. Keep it, Rokan Sports. I'll be back